Good afternoon, everyone. Jamie Sumner, Chief Analyst, Seafried and Brew. This week's webcast, we want to cover the average U.S. deposit rates. First, we're going to look at the non-maturity deposit rates. So let's look at the interest checking. The interest checking rate now is at 9 basis points. Savings accounts are at 13 basis points. Then we have those money market accounts between 14 and 30 basis points, depending on the balance in those accounts. So you can see here, these are very low rates, and this is what we've seen over the past 12 to 18 months. Prior to that, we saw rates continually to move down, and now we've reached that point where we've been flat for quite a while. Now the question is, since the Fed has already increased 2 times, how much longer will it be until we're going to need to see these deposit rates start to climb? I believe that we have about one more rate hike left. After that rate hike, if we do go into the second and third rate hikes in 2017, then I think we're going to see a need to begin to increase these deposit rates. But for now, we can leave them where they are. In fact, if you find yourself always at the top of the market inside your area, you might want to start maybe moving these down just a little bit, just to give you a little more room when rates start to rise. Not only do we see this stagnant rates occurring on the non-maturity deposits, but also on the average time deposits. In this chart, we have the 2016 to January end 2016 compared to last Friday's average rates on these time deposits on a variety of different maturities. And you can see by the change column, there's only 1 to 4 basis point difference between these rates. So therefore, we haven't really seen that increase in the time deposits either. And I think as the long end of the curve begins to move up a little more, we might be able to see the increase in these rates beyond 2 years start to climb over the next couple of months. But we have yet to see that. So we're going to continue to monitor these rates on the average United States, and then we'll continue to present on this monthly. But a couple of weeks ago, there was an article inside the Wall Street Journal, and it talked about the need for 401k, these mandatory withdrawal rates. And these are applied to individuals 70 and a half years old and older. So every year, these individuals have to take a mandatory amount out of their 401ks, and that's a percentage. Now, if they fail to do so, there's a pretty hefty tax that gets applied, and it's about 50% on the amount that they were supposed to take out, or the difference between how much they did take out and what the mandatory amount was. So that's a pretty significant tax. And therefore, I believe that this is something that community banks could spearhead in developing accounts to hold these funds. Because we're talking about the individuals that do not have a need to maybe tap their 401ks at this time. They're just riding it out. But since they have to have a mandatory withdrawal, they will need a place to put these monies. And I don't believe they're going to go back into the stock market just because of the risk. I think it's better if they were to go into either a money market account at a bank or a savings or a time deposit. And I think community banks is a nice place to place these funds. It is estimated that about $10 trillion is inside these baby boomers accounts. And these is the first wave of baby boomers to pass that 70 and a half year mark. So we're going to start to see more and more individuals flow in. In fact, when we look at the demographics across the United States, 9.9% of the population is 70 or above. If you look out 10 years, that more than doubles to 20.8%. And that's an important number because that's a lot of individuals flowing in to that age bracket that are going to be required to take these mandatory 401k withdrawals. So what we want to do as a bank is first look at your current data. Review the data that's inside your core systems in relation to the ages of your depositors, and determine if there's maybe a concentration, a certain percentage of individuals that fall into that 70.5 or older range, and begin to contact them. And then take it a step further and look at the demographics in your market area. Is there a need in your market area to service these individuals? And if there is, does your bank want to take advantage of that need and begin the process now? Because remember, this is something that's going to continue on as we go into time, 10, 20 years. Is this something that the bank's going to want to spearhead in providing a service to these individuals to hold those funds? So that's what we have for you this week. We'll see you next week where we review the advanced release of the fourth quarter data. We should have some interesting information to present. Looking forward to talk to you next week. Have a great week.